Leaving your children in the hands of strangers or even someone you know, it can tug at a parent's heart. If you're looking for a way to have one parent stay home, the author of this book, Deep Dive, may be able to help. Rich Horwath says that it all comes down to planning. The father of two joins us now with tips. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Destry. Great to be here.
Now, your book, Deep Dive, talks a lot about business strategies, but now you're kind of making it personal and you say we have to have a plan if we want to do something like stay at home.
Absolutely. When we think about planning, it's really about how do we take what we want, our goals, and create a pathway that gets us to those goals. So really, from a personal perspective, business planning helps us because it gives us a sound foundation and roadmap to get to the things that are going to make us happy and make us more successful.
Okay, so let's start about step one.
Okay.
You have two people working, mom, the woman has a baby, she
Right.
becomes a mom, she's debating about staying home. What's kind of the first thing you need to do?
First thing you need to do is write down what are our goals. What are the things that we as a family are trying to achieve? We want to be able to provide for our children. We want to make sure they have food on the table, clothes, money for education, things like that. And it's one thing to talk about it, but it's a whole different thing to write it down. Take time as the parents to jot down on paper what are the things we really want for our family. If you put it in writing, all of a sudden it really clicks in. It's like going to the store. If my wife tells me I need 2 gallons of milk and it's not written on my list, exactly, then we'll forget. So you've got to write down what are the goals specifically that we as a family are trying to achieve, and that's really the first step.
And then you have to decide, do you need to work full-time? Do you need to work part-time? Can one parent just stay home?
Yeah, exactly. And so once you've got your goals written down, then it's a matter about saying, in those goals, what are our wants and what are our needs? Because a lot of times they're two different things. So if we can identify again in writing, what are the things we want? We don't have to have, but we want. And then what are the things we absolutely need? Money for rent or mortgage, food, clothes, education, and jot down dollar amounts. What do we need there? And then we look at our wants. What are the things in there that we might potentially want to invest in? Now we've got at least a realistic total in our mind to say we can do this on one salary, or actually we need 2 salaries to really make all these things happen for us.
Yeah, you've got to have that number and figure it out. What about, there's been so many layoffs. What if you're dealing with a layoff? Maybe this is something that you didn't plan.
Yeah, great point. If you're dealing with a layoff, the first thing we want to do is refocus. And refocus means, again, taking a look at where are the things we've been successful in the past and what do we need to do to get back to that? Because emotionally, there's going to be a lot of issues going on. Can we get another job? And I think the first thing to do is to help both people, both the woman and the man, understand how can we get each other back on track? Who's our network? Who are the connections that we have? What are the ways that we can get either he or she back into the workforce?
What is a what not to do list?
Yeah, that's a great question. We all have the to-do list, which is all those things, the 10, 15, 20 things, we've got to do every day. What really the smart people do is they create that not to-do list. Where are the areas you're not going to spend your time, your effort, and your money? If we clearly identify that, what we'll see is that we tend to spread our time and our money over all these little things that really don't add value and happiness to what we're doing long term.
So to decide if you can stay home, basically you need to write out a plan.
Yep.
You need to figure out a number, figure out your wants
and
your needs, and maybe create a what not to do list.
Right, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good tips there. For more information, you can always go to strategyskills.com.